First World Order Radio. Finally, we are on the air. No doubt. All right.
There's always going to be somebody in the building on First World Order Radio.
We get on into some of that order consciousness tonight.
First World Order Radio every Wednesday, 8 p.m.
We got to talk about what is taking place on the planet.
There's always going to be somebody in the building on First World Order Radio. First, we need to let you know we're going to be doing more shows, giving out more information on Wednesdays. Wednesday at 8 o'clock, we are now going to make this the hottest day of the week.
Preceding others in time, order, importance. The most prominent parts, voices, or instruments. Earthly state of human concerns in existence. An indefinite multitude, quantity, or distance. System regulates to bring about specifics in the group based on value and natural characteristics. Current radiates electromagnetistics of sound through the air, same as your thoughts transmits it. Preceding others in time, order, importance. The most prominent parts, voices, or instruments. Earthly state of human concerns in existence. An indefinite multitude, quantity, or distance. System regulates to bring about specifics in the group based on value and natural characteristics. Current radiates electromagnetistics of sound through the air, same as your thoughts transmits it.
You need to understand how magical this, something like this every Wednesday can become. So you need to start getting your calendar right, get your schedule right. You need to know our intention straight out.
All right, so, these clues are given throughout the various languages was to piece the puzzle of this ancient mystery school back together again.
And what we plan on doing, both of us, is bringing y'all some surefire dynamite. We're going to take this level up a notch. We're going to have stuff to do here. This is not just going to be about philosophies and theories, shit that works.
You have an activated pineal gland in which I produced this black chemical called melanin.
What we did was...
Peace, back again with First World Order Radio. Your host, Dr. Alim El-Bey, and I have my co-host coming on, Brother Fahim El. Are you here, brother?
Peace, God.
Peace. How you doing tonight?
Very well, very well. How you doing, brother?
I'm doing well.
All right, wonderful. What do we got tonight?
All right, we're going to go into basically shamanistic alchemical practices and rituals. We're going to be dealing with meditation, breathing, practices, rituals, and the science of magic, which is dealing with the power of the mind. In other words, the law of attraction. So that's the subject that we're going to be going over today. You got anything with that you want to kick it off with?
That sounds fine. Breathing techniques, meditation, holistic health, what we should eat, what we shouldn't eat. Stop depending on these doctors, medical doctors too much, and depending on ourselves, instead of going outside of ourselves to heal ourselves.
Right. And what's some of your suggestions on mastering that science, brother?
Well, for instance, I've been I take hydrogen peroxide, golden seal, other herbs that I take like cayenne pepper, and I had a physical about a month and a half ago, and I came out all right. See, the thing is, the thing about my cholesterol and my sugar, my diabetes and everything, the medicine they gave me, I took none of it. But I followed your advice dealing with the hydroperoxide, cayenne pepper, golden seal, and believe it or not, brother, I came out all right. Blood pressure was down, sugar was down, cholesterol was almost zero. Well, not zero, but bad cholesterol was almost zero. Came out okay. And that shows That right there, I'm the proof to it right there. I'm living proof that you don't need these doctors like you think you need them. You may need them for some things, but you don't need them like you think you do.
No, right. And you was talking about some of the foods that we should and should not eat. Let's talk about that topic right quick.
Yes. Like today I had me a garden salad. I know some people say you shouldn't eat fish neither, but I do eat fish. It helps me lose. But I have been losing weight. Regular exercising. I don't. Since you broke down the word diet, I don't use the word diet no more because that means to die.
Right.
So I changed the eating habits. Right. Yes. Mm-hmm.
Right.
Go ahead, brother.
Okay. No, yeah. I was waiting for you, bro.
Okay.
You know, we trying to get it all out before we get into the topic, and let's see what's going on. Mm-hmm.
Yes. Foods like going to McDonald's and Burger King and Kentucky Fried Chicken and all those other places, even going to Pizza Hut, maybe that may be fine. No, that's not fine. I ain't saying it's fine. It's not fine because it's not good for you. Because most of people of African Moorish descent is not getting enough vegetables into their system.
Right.
Not enough sun. You hear a lot about people talking about, ooh, the sun, it's really burning up out here. And most of our people are saying that, and they want to get in the shade. They want to stay out in the sun and get the sun rays. That the sun rays that especially our people need so badly.
Right.
And it's due to a lot of the way our people eat. Eating all the white capsules and those kind of foods, And we eat more vegetables and fruit like we were supposed to eat like our ancestors did, and we'd be better off, way more better off, believe me.
Mm. Right. So what's some of the better vegetables? I know that you have also studied Dr. Sabi's information. What's some of the better vegetables, like what you was talking about in the fruits, in which that we should be eating, brother?
When you get get a salad or with a lettuce, you should get. I would prefer the romaine lettuce because they are more green than the other lettuce. And if you insist on have to eat tomatoes, I would suggest you grow your own. Because the
reason why? What's up with the tomatoes that they have out there on the market?
Because they are grown the way they are grown and the way they are being processed. They're not. If you can get a tomato from a grocery store and on a homegrown tomato, you can definitely tell the taste and the difference in the taste.
And that's because they started putting pigments into the tomatoes in order to make them last longer as a preservative. That's definitely, that's the reason why for that, as well as also the fact is that they're mostly now, a lot of these tomatoes are GMO, genetically modified organisms.
Yes. Like the watermelons, people want to go, ooh, the seedless watermelons or seedless grapes. But how are they growing those watermelons? How are they growing those grapes? They are genetically altered. That's what you eat, genetically altered grapes, genetically altered watermelon. Instead of the seed, the watermelons with the seeds inside of them, instead of the grapes with the seeds inside of them. And this is where they got a lot of people fooled at. They don't want to be bothered with the seeds, spitting it out of their mouth, so they want to go to the genetically altered fruits, the grapes and the watermelon. Yes. Mm-hmm.
Okay. So what you think the reason that we should not be eating these seedless fruits, in particular? I'm pretty sure there's vegetables that seedless that they're producing nowadays too. But I know like you said, the watermelon and grapes and different other ones, they are definitely producing them and making them seedless. I mean, do you think that the seeds hold life, and the fact that they are, you know, destabilizing those particular fruits by limiting the production of the seeds, you know, could that also have an effect upon you, you know, as it is, as above, so below, as within, so without?
Most definitely. What they don't realize, eating seedless fruits, it produces the fertility, especially in our women.
Mm-hmm.
It produces a lot of like in our semen to fertilize our women. You know, the eggs. Although women don't necessarily have to have a man to fertilize our eggs. Well, back in the day they didn't.
Right.
You hear a few now,
Right.
a very, very few of our women having babies without men. But nowadays, yes,
Right.
it produces a lot of produces impotence among men. It produces the inability of men to impregnate their women. You know, yes, it does all that. It has an effect on us,
right.
Pretty much.
Do you think this is merely a tool of the Rockefellers, the Monsanto, and others in order to, as part of the eugenics program, as far as population control agenda?
Exactly. Yes. And all the foods, your soft drinks, they put even your diet, so-called diet soft drinks that most people that
right, because a lot of the
drink.
soft drinks, right, because a lot of the soft drink has high fructose corn syrup, and the corn is GMO.
Genetically modified. Yes.
Right. Exactly.
Corn syrup and the diet. Okay, they don't have no corn syrup in the diet sodas. Okay, so what we gonna do? Hey, Monsanto. Hey, Rockefellers. I got an idea. We're gonna put some aspartame in them. We'll get them that way. 200 times more potent than sugar.
Is a cancer-causing agent. Right, and aspartame is a cancer-causing agent.
Yes.
Right.
It messes with your brain to function, to think like you should. You know, it physically as well as mentally. You know, it attacks the nervous system. It really jacks you up in the long run.
Right.
The milk. You say that a lot of people like to drink milk. Okay, you have a lot of that is from cows. But what they don't know is there are a lot of hormones they are put inside that milk, inside the cows. Before the milk is being milked outside of the cows. You know, they call it a lactate milk, or well, that's better than the other milk. No, it's not. Milk is milk. You know. Okay, so you lactate intolerant. Okay, so therefore it's still the same thing. You're still drinking a lot of those hormones and other kind of chemicals that they put inside them cows that's producing the milk.
Right.
You're going around there and feeding your babies with all this infant meal and formulas, and they just killing us off. Really a high form of killing. And this is part of their agenda to depopularize the planet, especially among us, African Moors. Especially amongst us. You know, the oranges, you can shoot different chemicals inside your oranges, even though they have the seeds, but you can still shoot different chemicals inside your oranges, your apples. I mean, you name it. They have done it, and they are still doing it.
Right. True.
You know, all your diet drinks. That's where they really got them food at. The diet 7-Up, the diet Pepsi, the diet Coca-Cola. You know, And the regular Coca-Cola is not the original Coca-Cola that they used to produce.
Right.
Doesn't make it so bad. You know, your meat, the red meat, your beef. Well, back in the 19th century,
we know that the original Coca-Cola actually had cocaine in it, and that's how it actually got its name.
Yes, back in the early about the turn of the Victorian era and the early 20th century, and they used to sell them like you can go. I mean, you sell them like you can go to a grocery store, to a drugstore. You can buy it. You know, I mean, it wasn't no problem. You know, they were advertising in newspapers and whatever, magazines, whatever. They didn't have radios at the time. They just had started experimenting with the radio communications around that time. But it was then they started until they outlawed the cocaine use being so useful. You know, so you take your meat for instance. Well, they didn't. People didn't start having problems with cholesterol from beef or meat until they started processing them. I think the first recorded heart attack was in 1894.
Right.
The first recorded heart attack. You know, that's the same year they started processing foods. The same year.
And by the 1950s, you had a grocery store within most of the urban areas.
Yes. Attention.
Right. And by that time, that's when grocery stores first became big. Was in the 1950s. By the 1960s, 70s, they was everywhere. You know, and we abandoned farming. You know what I'm saying? We lost millions and millions of acres of land. You know, especially the so-called black farmer, the Moors, lost millions of acres of land just from the 1950s up to now. So over just a 60-year span, you know, millions of acres have been lost.
Yes. Yes. They made grocery stores way more plentiful than the 30s and the 40s. You know, people used to have used to go to the market to what you call a certain market that you can get your vegetables and your fruit right off of the market, farmer's market. You know, or chicken or whatever.
Right.
You know, because the chicken at that time they didn't have all those hormones that they have now. Those chickens that they be shooting inside those chickens now. So
steroids.
Steroids. Steroids in the chicken and turkey, whatever. They were the farmers, you know, they drive their trucks from their farms, have eggs or whatever, fruit, vegetables, or whatever you wanted to buy, they have right there for you, called a farmer's market. And you can come down there and buy, you know, whatever you want to buy, the goods, and they all the chickens were cage fed, not from the ground. They never let their chickens hit the ground. They fed them cage. And so they were like hormone free. But now you're not going to get that now. No. No, and this is by design. It's not by coincidence.
Right.
You know, you talk about your from ketchup, mustard, you name it. Even a lot of the soy products that a lot of our people thought that was wholesome and holistic form is not good for us because it messes with our skin a lot, and it also causes cancer as well. A lot of people would drink like a lot of soy milk, and when I don't drink milk, I drink soy milk. Well, you still got a problem.
Right.
You know, so I say maybe you drink almond milk. Okay, that's okay. Almond. Okay, rice milk. All right. Coconut milk. Okay. But if you feel you have to have milk, those are milks I would prefer you to drink. You know, but
right.
And plus they are not milk. Coconut milk and rice milk and almond milk is not milk. You know, but it is a whole lot better Then the other crap you drinking is half and half milk and all that, 2% milk and all that foolishness, you know, and call yourself being healthy, and you're not being healthy.
Right.
Your Kentucky Fried Chicken, and you wonder why your daughter is having a menses at 12 and 11 years old, you know, and developing early like and earlier than they're supposed to.
Right.
You know,
and that comes from the steroids and the different antibiotics that's in the particular meat and on the fruits, you know, as far as the enzymes, as well as also the pesticides, you know, sprayed on the fruit, you know, in particular the wax, which that comes coated now on the fruits and vegetables, you know, definitely.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they all kind of your coloring, your dye that they had in their meat. So that's dye, and you thinking that's fresh meat. No, that's not. That's that dye they shoot in them meat to make it look like that.
Right. Exactly.
You go in your grocery stores, if you notice, they have like a really soft, classic like music going. That's the music has a certain an effect on how your mood is, and you make it's designed to make you take your time and looking and through the grocery store, especially in the fruit and the vegetable section where they have it all lighted up, lit up, and that has an effect on you. And then when you go to the cash register, then they have the fast music, the real fast R&B music to help get you out of there.
Right.
Well, there's something else.
So you saying they playing? So you saying, Brother L, that they playing psychological games?
Most definitely. Exactly. Yes. They know. They have studied. They have scienced up on different parts of the brain. They know what affects the brain, and they know what doesn't affect the brain. And so therefore they know what to do.
Well, right. Well, let's get into that right quick, because there's 7 components of the brain in which that, you know, deals with the different light frequencies of the rainbow colors, as we would say, Roy G. Biv. That's red, orange, yellow, green, blue, indigo, and violet. Like you said, these particular colors, when utilized, you know, will stimulate brain activity. This is a known fact. You know, so, you know, they definitely know how to tap in, especially with the music frequencies being played. They know how to tap into that, you know, in order to get the response that they are looking for. You know.
Exactly.
So, yeah. So let's get into, you know, the science herbs too before we get into, you know, the deeper sciences here, because we know that the herbs. Of course, you go to Genesis, the 1st chapter, 29th verse, it says, "Behold, I've given you every herb bearing seed, which is upon the face of the earth." So right there, it tells you about herbs, you know, fruits, vegetables, etc., bearing seed, you know, in which that was given to us. So anything in which that does not have seeds, you know, is something that we need to stay away from as much as possible. You know, we know that many herbs and vegetables, plants, etc., are mentioned in the Bible. You know, as a matter of fact, people who lived during the time, you know, was knowledgeable herbalists. They used the herbs not only for food, but to flavor the food and also for medicinal purposes. The Bible mentions over 128 plants that were part of everyday life in ancient Africa, as we say, Egypt, Tunisia, which is Canaan, Israel, and the surrounding areas. You know, so the whole science is, of course, let your medicine be your food. So when we get into the different herbs, one of the top herbs in which that everybody need to do some research on is alfalfa. It's one of the most powerful herbs in the herbal kingdom. The roots go more than 30 feet deep into the ground, and it picks up the essential minerals in the soil. It has 80 essential digestive enzymes and 80 essential amino acids of protein, which are the building blocks of life. It also is an excellent blood purifier, which is a blood cleanser, and is used for allergies, anemia, appetite, arthritis, rheumatism, cramps, diabetes, digestion, gout, morning sickness, nausea, to activate your pituitary gland, as well as also for stomach, as well as also to get rid of ulcers. So alfalfa is definitely a plant that we need to do more investigation. Like I said, the roots go more than 30 feet into the earth, and it picks up all the essential minerals from the soil. You need at least 72 minerals daily. All right?
Okay.
These minerals are some of the same minerals in which that is mentioned on the periodical chart when you go to chemistry class or when you go to biology class. The word bio means living. The word chemistry means the study of chem, which is the study of blackness, which is talking about the study of melanin. So in order to keep melanin functioning properly and at a high level, you must have the proper minerals, which acts as catalyst for the vitamins in which that is in your food. All right. So, for example, if you have vitamin D, which is a vitamin, you need calcium in order to help regulate the function of the vitamin D in your system. So let's say if you stay out in the sun, like we say for about an hour a day, which is, that's what we're supposed to do as melanated people. We need at least 1 to 3 hours of sunlight a day. All right, at least 1 hour, based on the fact that the sun is 93 million miles away from the earth. It takes 8 minutes and 20 seconds for the sun rays to touch down to the planet. And it takes 8 minutes and 20 seconds for the blood to flow through your whole entire body to bathe your brain in the proper nutrients. So since that is the case, your head symbolizes the reflection of the sun. And we know that a holy man, once they learn how to master their lower self and raise to the higher self, they can develop what is called a golden halo or a light, helios, around the top of the head, which is an expansion of your auric field. So that is essential. But there are plants in which that can help with that process, So let's say you have 7 chakras, which of course, is mentioned in the book of Revelations throughout all of it, the 7 churches, the 7 seals. All of that is talking about the chakra system. All right, so all of that's talking about the chakra system. And when you read and study it, we also know it's the 7 eyes of Allah. Within the 101, 102s, we also know that it's known as the 7 creative spirits that was, is, and forever will be. In other words, that brought your physical body into existence. In particular, the 4 lower devils, which are the 4 lower ones, your heart, your solar plexus, your navel, and your genitals, is what brought their physical body into physical manifestation. So you need these minerals, being that it's called the building blocks of life, with these proteins and these amino acids, it's essential. And alfalfa has these 8 essential amino acids of protein, to help with that process. All right, so you definitely need to get on alfalfa. Another excellent one is this dandelion. Dandelion is no joke. It has all 12 nutritive blood salts. Matter of fact, it's one of the most valuable survival plants. Like I said, it contains all 12 nutritive blood, tissue, muscle salts, which is necessary for the body to purify itself and cleanse itself. So dandelion acts as a natural tonic for the whole bodily system. It destroys acid in the blood. So therefore, dandelion is an excellent blood purifier. Excellent blood purifier is definitely what we need on a daily basis. Matter of fact, it stimulates the liver to detoxify poisons, the kidneys to eliminate waste. It is one of the safest plants. So it can even be given to babies and to children. Right?
Okay.
The matter of fact, it's used for childhood diseases such as the measles, the mumps, the chickenpox, and other ailments.
What is that?
All right.
What herb is that?
Right. Dandelion.
Dandelion. Okay.
Right. So dandelion is also good for insomnia. It's excellent for your kidneys, your bladder, your gallbladder, your pancreas. Matter of fact, person dealing with diabetes, it knocks it out. Digestive disorders. It helps heal anemia, bronchitis, constipation, cancer, gallstones, jaundice, tonsillitis, skin problems, the flu, fractions, heartburn, reflux disease. It does it all.
Oh, right.
Dandelion is definitely another plant on which that we need to look at as far as on a daily basis. We need to be taking these particular blood cleansers. All right, alfalfa and dandelion are definitely the ones that you need to take. There's another good one, which is chickweed. All right, chickweed.
All right.
It helps liquefies and remove mucus from the respiratory tract. So anybody dealing with respiratory issues, chickweed helps eliminate that, especially when it's in conjunction with mullein. Right, mullein is called rabbit tobacco. All right, it looks like tobacco. It's a cousin to tobacco, but it does the opposite of what tobacco does, especially with the 4,000 chemicals that's in tobacco and the cigarettes in which that they have nowadays out on the market. But mullein, what it does is actually extract mucus from out of the body and from out of the respiratory or the lungs. So it's excellent for treating asthma, bronchitis, overall inflammation of the lungs. It helps to dissolve fat in the body by removing waste, toxins, and poisons. Is commonly used as a blood purifier also. That also helps to prevent cancer. It's good for the skin problem, acne, boils, rashes, canker sores, etc. It also acts as a sexual enhancer. It improves the circulation. It prevents impotency, sterility, and frigidity. You know what I'm saying? In other words, chickweed, is good, as far as the blood purification goes, with the removal of waste, so that these functions can, over time, happen naturally. You know what I'm saying? Such as the sexual enhancement. All right. Okay. So those three in particular, along with another good one, which don't get a lot of talk about, is burdock. Burdock is one of those most powerful blood purifiers in the herbal kingdom. It's also excellent for skin disease, swelling, rheumatism, joint pain, gout, lungs, kidney problems, arthritis, etc. So burdock is also good. One of probably the most powerful one that they don't really talk about, and that's good for almost everything that you can think of, is actually golden seal.
Yeah.
You don't take it for a long extended period of time, but it's like the herbal cure-all. Is the natural penicillin of the herbal kingdom. That's what it is. Its antibiotic actions is very similar to tetracycline. Penicillin or streptomycin. You know what I'm saying? So it acts like an antibiotic. The strong kind that they got at the drugstores. It is excellent whenever a problem arises in the body, and you might not know exactly what's going on, but you know that you need something. And if you get golden seal, then that's what you would need. It's definitely the herb to use when you don't know what other herbs to take. It's used to heal the eyes, chicken pox, burns, skin disease, infections, liver problems, digestive problems, ulcers, bronchitis, cancer, diabetes, high blood pressure, etc. Especially when you take it with cayenne pepper. Cayenne pepper is the catalyst. As a matter of fact, it helps take all the herbs on which that you're taking to the proper place, and it takes it even faster when you use cayenne pepper, especially based on the IUs, which is the heat units. You know, and of course, you know, cayenne pepper being recognized as one of the greatest of herbs. And when mixed with the other herbs, like I said, it quickly carry them to other parts of the body where they're needed and increases their effectiveness and provides energy for the body. It's excellent for the remedy for cold. So if people want to know how to come out, the doctors haven't been able to cure colds, right? Because they haven't been telling you to take cayenne pepper. You know,
they tell you that.
Get rid of flus, hemorrhoids, infections, childhood diseases, rheumatism, arthritis, diabetes, high blood pressure, you know, hemorrhaging, ulcers, cuts, wounds, varicose veins, poor circulation throughout the body, heart stimulant. It's good for the entire digestive system as well as the circulatory system, period. You know, and definitely one of the herbs that need to be taken, you know. And chaparral is also another good blood cleanser, but it's actually like one of the best herbal antibiotics. I would use golden seal and chaparral together, you know, when it comes to, you know, destroying bacteria, viruses, parasites, you know. You can also take it in combination with the red clover. It helps get rid of the body of tumors and growths, you know, cancerous growths, by purifying the blood. It's an excellent remedy for eyesight, acne, allergies, rheumatism, arthritis, boils, prostate cancer, prostate problems and cancer, and etc. So, you know, that chaparral is no joke. You know, and another good one is, you know, that we need to do more investigation on is myrrh. You know, we know that in the Bible, Jesus was brought 3 gifts, you know, by the so-called, quote unquote 3 wise men. And the 3 gifts was, of course, frankincense, myrrh, and gold. Right? Now, when you look up myrrh, you'll find that myrrh is also a natural antibiotic and blood purifier. It acts as an antiseptic on cuts, wounds, infections, sores. It treats and heals bad breath, gum disease, mouth sores, sore throats, toothaches, canker sores, boils, ulcers, digestive disorders, nervous disorders, menstrual cramps, diabetes, and etc. So, you know, myrrh is one of the least spoke about herbs that I've come across, you know, but it does so much. And the fact that the Bible mentions, you know, myrrh as one of the 3 gifts, obviously it had to be one of the greatest antibiotic cures, you know, and used as the herbalist and used as a healer, even 2,000 years ago, during the time when they put this play together, or this allegory together. We have another one called Padialco, which is called Tahibo, which is a natural antibiotic also. It has antibacterial, antiviral, and antifungal properties. It contains compounds that attacks the causes of diseases. It boosts the immune system. It gives the body the energy needed to overcome various ailments such as asthma, bronchitis, leukemia, cancer, diabetes, anemia, skin problems, boils, ringworms, etc., external sores, wounds, cuts, pains, even venereal diseases such as herpes simplex, and much more. So this is also a natural antibiotic in the herbal kingdom. I'm just going through the various antibiotics, you know, before we get into the deeper subjects as far as meditations and that information, because all of this is part of a shamanistic healer. When we're talking about shamanistic alchemical practices and rituals, we're talking about utilizing the herbs, being able to cite recognized herbs, talk with the plants like George Washington Carver, you know, in order to find out what they do for us. All right. So another good one, like you said earlier, was red clover. It's an excellent blood purifier. It benefits the entire bodily system. It's been known as to restore actually fertility. It is excellent to to calm the nerves, ease arthritis, rheumatism, bronchitis. It helps with skin problems such as acne, boils, psoriasis, as well as also break down growths, tumors, and cancers. All right. Another good one is yellow dock. Right, yellow dock is real good. It's also a natural antibiotic. It's actually one of the best blood purifiers in the herbal kingdom. It is especially good as a body cleanser. It cleanses the lymphatic system and tones the entire bodily system. So a person who's suffering from HIV, actually one of the remedies, for HIV or AIDS, which actually we know that no one actually died of AIDS, because AIDS is actually a combination of over 22 different diseases, which they all classify that if you have a certain amount of them, then that's what they claim that you have. Right? But it tones the entire bodily system. It has been used for eye infections, eye problems, skin problems, venereal diseases, childhood diseases, digestive disorders, pancreas disorders, diabetes, cancer, tumors, growths, liver, as well as also gallstones, spleen problems, pituitary gland issues, gout, inflammation, bladder issues, and etc. All right. So check out Yellow Dock. Excellent.
All right.
And in combination, you get black walnut, cloves, garlic, and wormwood. Those four in combination actually destroys what is called the fluke worm, in which that is the cause of cancer and also of diabetes. All right. So you'll definitely need to check that information out. I'll give you some more information, like, for example, like wormwood. This herb been used, to rid the body of pinworms, roundworms, other parasites. It's good for anxiety, gout. It's generally good for all diseases that involve retention of water in the tissues. In other words, like menstrual irregularities. So if a sister is having problems with her menses, she could take wormwood and rectify that situation. In other words, that's just like in the Bible where it's talking about the woman who touched Jesus' hem and she issued of blood for 12 years. If she would have took wormwood and knew the science of herbology, then she would have killed herself. You know what I'm saying? I'm pretty sure within less than a few months. She wouldn't have had to have suffer a whole 12 years. You know what I'm saying? It's also good for nutrient absorption. So if you're having problems with absorbing enough nutrients, wormwood help with that science. Also with muscle sprains, gallbladder dysfunctions, anxiety, nervousness, as well as joint inflammation, wound healing. All right, so you definitely want to take some wormwood, and let's get up to the another good one, like I was saying, is black walnut.
Yeah.
Black walnut is excellent for all skin problems, rashes, boils, ringworms, worms, parasites. Like I said, in conjunction with wormwood, cloves, and garlic, it actually cures cancer. All right. Matter of fact, the powder can be used for brushing your teeth to restore the enamel in your teeth, because you have to learn how to remineralize your teeth.
Okay.
And you can do that to prevent tooth decay and gingivitis by brushing your teeth with black walnut. Now, anybody who want to know more information concerning these herbs, go to my website. I'm a herbalist. I'm a master herbalist. All right, I've been trained and certified as a master herbalist in degree. For years now. Right, I started this as a child. My mom taught me the science of herbs, or herbology, or herbalism as a child at the age of 9. All right, my grandmother started teaching me how to plant and how to sight recognize various herbs and various fruit and vegetables. So check us out. Our website is www.dralimel-bey.com. That's DRALIMELBEY. That's DRALIMELBEY.com. Go to Herbs and Health, and we have hundreds of herbs, that you can definitely check out and learn how to identify them, because we have the pictures as well as also the science of what each one does. Right? You can't beat that. All right. Matter of fact, these are excerpts from my book, so I don't recommend using too much of the information, because my book is coming out soon, which is called the Blueprint to Great Health, in which that we got a lot of this information. Most of this information is in there. Right. Brother L, you want to add on to anything before we go to the commercial break?
Yes, you said something about myrrh. Yes,
right.
The toothpaste I use, organic toothpaste I use, that is, it has myrrh in it.
Right.
And it's non-fluoride toothpaste, and
right.
It really cleans my teeth. It has some type of it has a slight burning sensation, but it cleans my teeth than any other. Any other organic toothpaste that I ever had.
Right.
That myrrh in it. It's really good stuff. It's powerful stuff, and I believe it helps anyone's dental. Yes.
Right. Right.
Anyone's real dental health. That's one of the herbal toothpaste I suggest you use. And another thing about the could you elaborate on the hydrogen peroxide?
Yeah, well, before I get to hydrogen peroxide, let me tell people that we have also our organic line of toothpaste also, Brother L, in which that we have a lot of these herbs in the toothpaste. A lot of the herbs in which that we're talking about, in which that has antibiotic, antibacterial, antiviral, antifungal capabilities, actually is inside of our toothpaste. So you can also go to our website and check out the toothpastes too. We got many different kinds in which that my wife has put together a whole line of natural products, from everything from deodorant to washing powder, liquid detergent, toothpaste, so we're putting together a whole body line of natural products, because our people need them. And, we're trying to bring y'all, that fresh information, and teach you also how to do it yourself and not to be a leech or a blood support. So there's a difference.
Right. Right.
So definitely check us out. Once again, that's www.dralimel-bey.com. That's www.dralimel-bey.com. Check us out. All right. The reason why we was mentioning those particular herbs is because those herbs all have magical powers. That means if you do certain rituals, with these particular herbs, like red clover. So red clover, as we said, has the ability to produce fertility. So, if a couple want children, then of course they can communicate by burning a blue candle and read the 45th Psalm, and then also burning some red clover and within about 45 days, as they say, we're talking about birth, coming, especially if they're taking the herb, intaking that herb also. Red clover is definitely potent for that. So when you become a shaman, you have to learn these capabilities of what these herbs do. I won't go into all of them tonight, but we definitely need to do more research. And also how they bring balance to the body. Like we said, being that red clover deals with fertility, that means, of course, it helps with the enhancement of the root chakra. So when you're doing like energy balancing affirmations, you can visualize your root chakra, which is for the male right between the anal and the sternum sac, which is called the perineum, and they'll visualize a circular red energy, all right, rotating clockwise. Right? And you would say to yourself, I trust my higher self, fulfill all my needs. My life is full of prosperity, abundance, and success. All right. You also have your sacral chakra, in which that is the color orange, which is at your navel, in which that you would say, as you're visualizing it, it's also spinning clockwise, and you say, I accept and acknowledge my sexuality. My physical health is strong and pure. Then you go to your solar plexus, which is yellow. You see it visually rotating clockwise. You say, I'm a smooth and healthy way. I release all unresolved emotions. I claim my personal power. All right. Then you have your heart chakra, in which that you will visualize the color green. All right. Rotating clockwise, and you would say, I freely and easily give and receive love. Totally forgive others and myself for all past errors, mistakes, and judgments. All right. That helps you move out of the guilt, and the things, in other words, like Erykah Badu said about the bag. She said, as far as in reference to sisters, bag lady. But men have emotional issues also because they have not been taught how to express themselves properly. Right. You know what I'm saying? Because we grew up with mythology that, as little boys, you ain't supposed to cry. What you crying about? Stop all that daggone crying.
Right.
So we had to learn how to pin those emotions up in us. You know what I'm saying? Because we was taught not to express that outwardly. You know what I'm saying? That's one of the sad things about it.
That comes from
Go ahead,
why most men have heart attacks than women, because they keep a lot of that pressure inside themselves, and to get on later age in life, true, you got to let it out somewhere, some way, somewhere. But if you don't let it out, then all that pressure build up and build up and build up inside you, and you wind up having a heart attack, and die off.
Right, and as it says, your heart attacks you. All right, because it's not getting the feeling the love that it needs to. All right, so next is the throat chakra, which is the color blue, sky blue, in which that you see it rotating clockwise, and you say, I easily and gracefully express my deepest feelings and emotions. All right, that helps with the thyroid glands and the parathyroid glands, in which that is essential over your metabolism. And this is also one of the reasons why fat stays on the body, because we're trying to insulate ourselves. Fat is insulation. So what happens is that your thyroid gland and parathyroid glands begins to slow down, become sluggish. All right? That's one of the metaphysical causes behind taking on fat or weight, becoming obese. All right. Next one is your brow or forehead or your third eye chakra. Of course, you see the indigo color spinning clockwise, and you say, my inner vision is clear and strong. I trust my intuition and inner vision. And then you go to the crown chakra, which is the color violet, white, or either gold, based on what you see. Normally, we use the colors of the rainbow, because Joseph was said that Noah in the Old Testament was the covenant between him and God. And then you see Joseph actually wearing the rainbow coat, later on in Genesis. And so That's talking about your aura or your chakras in which that emits these particular lights or frequencies. The last is your crown chakra, which is violet. And you would say, I accept and acknowledge my spirituality. Okay. Now, if you need another example of what I'm talking about, you can sit with your hands, palms up on your legs, and you would concentrate your breath deeply. And you would place your attention on your base of root chakra, like you said, visualizing the color red. In fact, if you want to, you can visualize a bright red ball spinning clockwise. And as you focus on your base chakra, you can also breathe in red and then breathe out red. And you actually can repeat this 2 to 3 minutes. And to ensure that you see the red ball of energy spinning at the root chakra and also flowing down, you can also visualize the energy flowing down through your legs into Mother Earth like a tree spouting its roots and connecting with the center of the earth. This actually is a grounding exercise. It grounds you. All right. You can also put your attention next onto, like you said, your sacral nerve or your sacral chakra. And you will visualize orange, or in this case, a bright orange ball spinning clockwise. And as you focus on your sacral chakra, you can breathe in orange and breathe out orange and repeat it for 2 to 3 minutes. All right. Then next, you can move up to the solar chakras or your solar plexus, in which that you visualize yellow or a bright yellow ball spinning clockwise. And you breathe in yellow and then breathe out yellow for 2 to 3 minutes, right? Then you can put your attention on your next heart chakra, which is your heart chakra, and you'll visualize the chakra as bright green, a ball spinning clockwise. And as you focus on your heart chakra, you'll breathe in green and breathe out green, and you do that for 2 to 3 minutes, all right? And then you go up to your throat chakra, visualize bright blue ball spinning clockwise, and you're focused on your throat chakra. Breathe in blue and breathe out blue. All right. And you can also do next your third eye or forehead chakra, the brow chakra. Visualize the indigo, which is a bright indigo ball spinning clockwise. And as you focus, you breathe in indigo and breathe out indigo. And then the last one you do for your crown, you visualize bright violet. We're talking about the violet flame. Well, you'll visualize the violet flame, and it's emitting this bright halo around your head, as well as also a ball spinning clockwise. And as you breathe in violet, you also breathe out violet. All right, so this is another way in which that you'll bring balance to your chakras. All right. We want to teach you how to do so. One of the best ways to actually grasp the understanding is by learning how to draw down prana, chi ki energy. And what you would do is focus on your navel chakra. All right. Now, when you focus on your navel chakra, that is the place where you gain immortality, longevity, because you're mixing external DNA with internal DNA, essentially. So you have universal prana and you have concentrated personal prana, and you're mixing the two, in which that expands, the universal prana expands your concentrated personal prana within you, causing you to live longer, enjoy a much more healthier life. And even if you gain mastery, it can actually give you the ability of becoming immortal. Read about the 8 immortals. Read about these various people who live, beyond 100 years old. We're talking about 200, 300, 500 years old, and etc. All right. So it's a known fact that if you go and do some research on Saint Comte Germain, it is said that he lived at least 400 years. And they said in every generation in which that seen him said that he only looked like a man of the age of 40. And they said that they never seen him eat no more than a morsel of a piece of lettuce. But what he actually would take is some type of herbal medicine from a dropper, and he would drop it, in his mouth, underneath his tongue, or whatever the case is, in which that's all they ever seen him take. But other than that, they never seen him eat anything more at any function, you know what I'm saying? And this has actually been somewhat, eyewitnesses reports, over almost a 400-year span. At least this is alleged. And we know that there's people in which that actually do live that long. We know of Lee, who lived to be 256 years old. And this is documented. And he learned the sciences of Qigong and Tai Chi, which is what we're talking about here right now when we're talking about the prana, Qi exercises, and how to absorb prana and how to store prana in your body. Now, how to do it is to sit up straight with your hands on your knees, and you will focus on your belly button. If you need help, if you have any belly button, you can actually take a penny and put inside your belly button, or either your hand over your belly button. All right, one of your hands over your belly button, or both hands. For if you do both hands, then for the man, it's left over right. For the woman, it's right over left. All right. And when you breathe in, you will focus your attention at your abdominal, at your navel chakra area. So your back is straight, and you breathe in for a count of 6. Focus your energy at your navel chakra, at your belly button. Hold it for 3, then breathe out for a count of 6, and then hold it again for 3, and then repeat it. All right? That is what is called the pranic breathing, in which that is supposed to be done 100 times a day, in which that when you do it on the 100th time, it expands your auric field from 3 feet to more than 15 feet outside of you. So you strengthening your auric field. But in the process, you also are taking that energy, that prana, and storing it into your dantian. And that's what is called dantian breathing. All right? Now, you can also store the energy like that at the back of your heart to expand your heart chakra in the front, which is like an opening or a ripping opening of your chest. It's not like a literal ripping open of your chest, but you feel as if it, the sensation in your chest, and then as it spread across your chest, you'll feel it open and activate. That's from you storing the energy within that area, that prana or that chi energy. You can also store the energy in your third eye, right? So if you want longevity, health, then you store it at your belly button. If you want love, compassion, mercy, then you store it at your heart. If you want high intelligence, a high IQ, then you store it at your third eye. All right? And being that your medulla oblongata sits in alignment with your third eye or forebrow, then it also activates your past life experiences and your photographic memory. All right, so you would do these particular, each one 36 times. So as you inhale and then exhale, that's 1. And then, of course, you would do it 36 times. All right, that's the minimum. Like we said, 100 times is the max. But the minimum is at least 36 times. All right, so you definitely want to practice that particular technique. All right, we're giving out the techniques tonight on how to do it. There's also a pranayama for awakening the Kundalini. A lot of people ask you, well, how are you awakening the Kundalini in order to become a real Naga, all right, and not just a nigga? Well, when you practice the following, you concentrate on a Mahara, all right, which is at the base of the spinal column, which is actually that triangle area, downward triangular area at the base of the spine, right above the crack of your behind. that is the seat of the Kundalini Shakti. So you will close your right nostril with your right thumb, and then inhale through your left nostril till you count 3 ohms slowly. Then you imagine that you are drawing the prana in, all right, from the air. Then close the left nostril with the little ring and the little finger, the little ring finger of the right hand. Then obtain the breath for 12 ohms. Then send the current down the spinal column straight into the Muladhara, or the Muladhara, which is actually the root or base chakra, which is the abode of the Kundalini Shakti. Then you imagine the nerve current is striking against the lotus and awakening the Kundalini. All right, then slowly exhale through the right nostril, counting 6 ohms now. And repeat the process for the right nostril as stated. All right, so you would do this 3 times in the morning, 3 times in the evening. Increase the number of times until gradually, you know what I'm saying, according to capacity. So in this pranayama, you'll concentrate on the Muladhara, you know, is actually the main and most important thing to awaken the Kundalini quickly. You know, if the degree of concentration is intense, and if the pranayama is practiced regularly, you can awaken the Kundalini. All right. And so once again, you will close your right nostril off, breathe in through your left nostril for 3 ohms. So it'd be Om, Om, Om. All right. Then you will close your left nostril with the ring finger. In other words, now you retain your breath. You'll hold your breath for 12 ohms. So Om, 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 Om. And then you'll visualize and send the current down, striking up against the Muladhara, against that the abode of the Kundalini. And then you'll exhale slowly through the right nostril for a count of 6 ohms. Om, 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 Om. All right, so it's 3, 12, 6. All right, ohms. And then you reverse the process. All right. And once again, you would do it 3 times in the morning and 3 times in the evening in order to activate the Kundalini without any problems. You know,
all right.
The reason why the yogis taught to be conscious or cautious about raising the Kundalini is because there's individuals on this planet who have calcified pineal glands. Richard King, he speaks about with his African origin of biological psychiatry that 5 to 15% Africans have calcified pineal glands, 20 to 35% Asians, and 60 to 80% Europeans. So because of those particular numbers, they had to caution people, otherwise people could spontaneous combust. All right, so you want to be able to make sure that you're doing that properly, all right? And also, another thing is learning the science of protection, psychic self-defense, all right? We have a lot of psychic vampires in which that like to leech energy from you without giving anything in return. These are really the blood suckers of the poor, all right? And so if you feel negative energy or people who have gotten to you, simply, you know what I'm saying, what you would do is push your hand out from your solar plexus and say, no, I do not accept this from you. So if you got people who's being real pushy, you got people who, you know, trying to talk your ear off and they giving nothing but problems and no solution. You know what I'm saying? And then they're not really trying to hear you give a solution. So you know that they just want to weigh you down with their problems. You know what I'm saying? You simply just take your hand and at your solar plexus, just like the way that Prophet Noble Drew Ali has his hands, you know what I'm saying, and the fidelity symbol, you know what I'm saying, and you just push your hand out from your solar plexus and say, no, I do not accept this from you. All right? Another nice meditation for protection, yourself surrounded by white light. You know what I'm saying? It's a good idea, you know, to regularly clear your personal space, which is 3 feet normally within the average person's auric field. You know, this means physical cleansing, sitting of intent. So that means perhaps some type of ritual of clearing. If you understand the science of Reiki, there's 4 symbols on Reiki: Choku-rei, Seiheki, Hanshishi Shonin, Dekomeo. You will use Seiheki for the cleansing in the particular ritual, and allow for the energy to fill, you know, the prana, chi, ki energy to fill in, you know, in your space, what's called Reiki. You know, these are necessary things in order to protect yourself, you know, from these psychic vampires. You know, these are the individuals who, when you get around them, you feel drained after you talk to them. You know what I'm saying? Because they end up taking and zapping you of your energy because they are sick in some shape, form, or fashion. Yeah. Whether it's bodily sick, emotionally, or mentally sick. And so they have to draw for a pure source. They have to draw for you in order to feel good about themselves. Instead of taking their asses out in the sun and practicing Qigong or Tai Chi.
Exactly.
Or pranayama. You know, they rather take the energy from you. These are psychic vampires. This is the same thing that these archbishops and these popes and these other individuals do to these children when they prefer virgins, in order to sleep in the bed with them, in order to absorb the pure energy from them, in order to make them young again and make them feel more, you know, more energized and more rejuvenated. These are actually practices, you know what I'm saying, in which has been practiced in these particular schools of thoughts. But instead, you're absorbing energy from an individual, you know what I'm saying, because you're doing it with consent, you know what I'm saying, or what appears to be consent, even though most of the time it comes through manipulation of the mind control, you know what I'm saying, you know, and because of that, you know it's not pure, but yet that's what you're attempting to extract from that child, the innocence. You know what I'm saying? This is what this child molestation thing is about on these higher levels. And the reason why 2,500 children, you know, have still been missing, you know, from New Orleans, in which that are no longer even talked about. You know, they were sold on these slave markets, you know, these black markets and these slave markets, the sex slave markets. You know, and this is what's going on. You know, so this is the problem with these individuals, that instead of practicing these particular exercises and purifying themselves, they feel as if they need to drain others of their life force in order to have a life. What I say is get a fucking life.
Exactly.
You know, so this is the dumb shit that's taking place on the planet Earth. Let's go to the phone lines. We got a few people here. We got area code 919. Area code 919. You're on the air.
Hey, Islam.
Peace.
Peace, more.
Islam.
Peace. Hey, my name is Madison, Dr. Alim. Peace to both of you and Brother Ill.
Peace,
I actually talked to the sister Kadira earlier today about the about vaccinations. I think this is kind of on topic with what you all are talking about, because I was actually my job is trying to require that I take the flu shot. I'm trying to figure out how to do this do it with a religious exemption, even if I haven't proclaimed my nationality yet. I don't know. I feel like I have enough information where I could just...
It's real simple, brother. All we do is get online and pull up North Carolina vaccination exemption form. For cultural, religious, and political reasons, you can actually outline the reason why you don't want to take the flu vaccination or any other vaccination in life. And based on North Carolina law, the General Assembly, based on the General Statutes, you don't have to. And you can actually put that in and not waive any of your rights at the job site. It's not necessary. They want you to make it think it's necessary and think it's something that you have to do that is mandatory, but it's not. So go and get you a vaccination exemption form for North Carolina, and if you need for me to send you one, then we would do so at a donation. You can actually go online to www.Dr. Alim El-Bey, or you can actually go and do your own research and try to find one and then, tweak it in order to fit your situation and state your reasons, brother. It's not hard.
All right.
You can definitely get out of that.
Okay. I looked that up earlier and I saw exactly what you're saying. I've seen the North Carolina exemption and all that online earlier today after I spoke with your wife. But they have a form for me at the job. Like the job has an exemption form. So should I still fill out that one, the North Carolina one, and the one for the job, and attach it? I mean, what's your recommendation? Yes. I guess I should say.
Yes, I would, brother.
Attach it to the one they provided.
That way the two correlates, and you got double the identification. As a matter of fact, the one in which that you would print off a line from North Carolina. Once you sign it, I will go and get it notarized and go down to the Register of Deeds and put it on record there. And then go to your job and then attach it. Right. Then you go to your job and attach it to the one in which they want you to fill out.
Attach the notarized North Carolina copy to the one that they provided.
Exactly. You got it.
Oh. All right. Thank you, Dr. Ali.
You're welcome, man. Peace.
Appreciate you, God.
Peace.
All right, you got area code 614. Area code 614. Peace.
Hi, greetings.
Peace.
Greetings, Dr. Ali. Greetings, Brother L. How you doing?
Greetings, sister. How you doing?
Doing well. How are you?
Well, I'm good. I was calling to get information about what is that? Gunpowder tea. What your views on that?
On gunpowder?
Yeah.
Is that what you said?
Tea.
The origin of it?
Yes, sir. Gunpowder. No, I mean, any benefits of that one?
Of gunpowder?
Yeah, gunpowder tea.
Oh, gunpowder tea.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes,
I got
sir.
what you're saying.
Yeah, am I breaking up here?
It depends on what's right. It depends on what's in it, because I know teas are normally different blends.
Oh, okay.
So, right. So it would have to say specifically what's in it, so I can have some type of idea on the particular herbs and what they do for the body. That way I can tell you exactly what each one, does. Do you have
okay,
do you know what's in it?
No, it just said gunpowder tea. It was at the health food store, and I was just interested in knowing if they had any, health benefits in it.
Right.
And I bought it.
Well, most tea do have. Right. Most tea do have some type of health benefits. If you have it around you, you just read the back to me and tell me what it says.
No, it doesn't. It's like it was bulk. It was in bulk. So you just dip you dip the little spoon in and you put it in the bag and you kick off with it.
Right.
So it doesn't really have. All it said was gunpowder tea, and you get other bulk. Like you can get chamomile. You can get the burdock. I get my burdock from there. So that's just the name of it. It didn't really have any specific ingredients.
Right. Well, see, that means that that has to be that has to be a hybrid blend.
Okay.
When we talking about a blend, we talking about being hybrid, because there's no herb, that I know of called gunpowder. So that means that it has to be a combination of various herbs that they have put together.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
All right, I ain't going to drink it. But yeah, I'll stick to my burdock. I got my burdock, and I'm good with that. I was just, seeing what, if you had any information about that one.
Right.
All right, well, thank you.
Yes, stick with the burdock. We
right,
know what that is.
Yeah, I know what that is, right? All right, you guys. Thank you for everything, and keep up the excellent information.
Right. Thank you, God.
Thank you. Peace.
Peace.
All right, we got area code 540. Area code 540, you're on the line.
Peace. What's going on, brothers?
Peace, God.
Peace.
What's going on with you?
Not much. Question on auras. Do you have any techniques or ideas as far as seeing your own aura and seeing if you have any kind of, debris or lower
one of the best ways to do that
in your aura, and a technique to maybe clear that out?
Yeah, one of the best ways to do that is to have a mirror behind you and your and basically a white wall in front of you, and you will look near the top of your head, right near the hairline, and you will begin to start focusing at that area, and then after about 2 minutes, you will see your aura come into play, which is actually going to see your ethereal body first, then your aura soon after. You know what I'm saying? Normally within 2 to 3, to 5 minutes, you'll see it. So that's the technique that you can practice. Once again, there's a mirror behind you as you sit in front of a white wall and look at the hairline. You know what I'm saying? And of course, the mirror can be on the side of you or wherever you need to be so that you can actually look in the mirror and see, as well as also focus at your hairline so that you are able to actually see the light emitted from your head.
Okay. Now,
and after you tap into your aura, you'll see the various colors of what mood that you are actually in, whether it's Roy G. Biv or, red, orange, yellow, blue, indigo, violet, whatever the case is.
Okay, now can your aura be sometimes more than one color or combinations of 2, 3, 4, whatever?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay, cool. All right, appreciate it, Brother Alim. Appreciate it.
All right.
Right, the thoughts, your emotions and your thoughts is what changes the aura. So as the thoughts change, then yes, they change. They can also change and blend with different colors at any given time, brother.
Oh, would you also be able to see like any kind of? I know you spoke on it before, like apeps or like them kind of things or anything like that in your aura. How would that show up, or would it just be like holes in your aura or what?
Right, it would show up as holes or leaks in your aura. And you can actually do what is called, you can do a technique which is called pranic healing, which that you can scan down your auric field. You can actually scan first the outer aura, then the mid or the health aura, then the inner aura, which is about 2 inches above the physical body, which is called your ethereal body. And you can actually feel for leaks and holes. And how you know it's holes is because it has cool areas or sensations within those particular areas. And it feels like air is coming through. It feels like air is coming through. And what you would do is redistribute where it's hot or warm at and move it to those cool areas in order to, as if you're sealing off those particular areas.
All right, gotcha.
All right. You can also listen to Brother Mitchell Dixon's removal of entities. It's on YouTube, in which that you can actually sit down and listen to those particular frequencies in which that helps removal of these entities from the auric field.
All right. Sounds good. All right. Appreciate it, Dr. Alim.
Feel like a burden being lifted from you. All right? Peace, Doc.
All right, peace.
All right, we got area code 954. Area code 954. You on the line?
Yeah, greetings, is Brother Alim.
Greetings, peace.
Peace.
Yay, and peace, my brothers. This is Vince calling from the Bahamas.
Peace, brother.
Oh, peace, God.
Yeah, you spoke to me about a few weeks ago. Trying to get you down here to do some Reiki. Yeah.
All right. Well, should be ready to come, brother.
Yeah, man. So I be tuning into your show, and I really appreciate we say appreciate love instead of appreciate hate. So I appreciate love what you be pushing out there.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Just have a quick question on the DMT. What is your take on that?
Mm-hmm.
As far as I've been just checking out a few stuff on YouTube and reading other stuff about it. What's your take on it? I'll just hang up, but just great job, and just give thanks for the blessings and the teaching. So I'll just listen back to your comments. Peace and love to everybody.
Peace and love.
Peace and love, brother. Well, there's certain herbs that you can use, plants, trees in which that you can use. One is called the tabernacle yabuga plant, in which that is 70 times more potent, than marijuana. Which that comes from out of West Africa. All right. Quaco Endo put us onto it back in '95. All right. As well as also you can Kalindi Ihi, Master Kalindi Ihi, he spoke about the fact of these red and white mushrooms, in which that normally that comes after rain in a dung field, which is a cow patch, in which that comes up, in which that has high amounts of DMT in it, which that can be utilized in order to activate the DMT in you. As well as also there's other herbs in which that's been used, throughout time, whether it's peyote or hash or what's another one? The Yayakasa, or something like that. Plant. These are all been used in various times in history. This is why also the Hebrew Israelites, or the so-called Jews, wore mushroom caps, because the high priest would use the mushrooms to hallucinate and go into particular trances. So all these plants have been used as far as herbs are concerned. But the most potent and the most permanent way, and that's just something dealing with something external of yourself, is to tap into it internally. And the best way to do that is through the breath, brother. You know what I'm saying? Is the breath exercises.
Yes, exactly.
In particular, one of the highest breath exercises in yoga, and pranayama actually, in pranayama or Kriya Yoga, it is known, actually you go close off your right nostril, breathe in through your left nostril for a count of 4, and then pump your stomach as you say, hey way, Hawa Guru, Hewa Guru. And as you say, Hewa Guru, Hewa Guru, Hewa Guru, you say it 16 times, and each time you pump your stomach, out and in, out and in, all right? As you hold your breath for those 16, then you breathe out, all right? You'll close off now your left nostril and breathe out your right nostril. And you'll reverse it. All right. So that is one of the highest levels of yoga, or pranayama yoga, which is Kundalini yoga or Naga yoga or Nadi yoga. Depends on which school that you go through and which that calls it by the various names. But it's all pranayama or Kriya yoga. And of course, anyone who studies Yogananda's information, he comes from the right-hand path, or the Kriya bond or Kriya path, in which that deals with celibacy and deals with that science. But you can also reach the same level by not being celibate, which is called the Tantra Kriya Yoga, all right, or Tantra Kriya Yoga, in which that was developed and put together by my Grandmaster Sunyata Saraswati, in which that he deals with a lot of this information in the Jewel and the Lotus, in which that is a pretty advanced book. I know we carried around that book like it was the Bible back in '91, for a few years actually, but we got it back in '91, and we had that in our pockets ever since. you know, and I actually sat underneath him, you know, for 3 years, from 2005 to 2008, and even now I still get instruction from him on a yearly basis. You know, I go and meet with him and receive more and further instructions. So we recommend, you know what I'm saying, getting in contact with him also, www.shendaoenergyarts.com. That's SHEN Dao TAO Energy INNERGY Arts ARTS.com. All right. He's in Florida, in Hollywood, Florida right now. And anybody who wants to go and take his classes, if you know any of this information, even on a small level, and actually practice, he can tell from your aura, and he'll decide if he'll let you into the advanced classes or not. Okay? I was already a practitioner of Qigong, certain Tai Chis, and Reiki, you know, and pranic healing before I met him in 2005. I've been learning since 1995 from another teacher of mine who was Prince Ramesses Abel Bey, who later became known as Prince Hutan Tupac Bey, who was the crown prince of the Empire Washtor Didak Damanya under the Empress Vidyashi Geston Tornado Bey. And he taught me these sciences, you know, of advanced healing, you know, and shamanistic practices, you know, and magic, the science of the power of the mind. Wow. All right, so this is how now my nickname becomes the Shaman Healer, because I was taught by these people. You know, I've actually had teachers. There's a difference in which that if anybody listened real close to me and maybe some other speakers, you can tell who had actually had teachers and who was just, you know, outside reading books, or on the outside, you know, fence reading books, and they have no actual practice or actual application. You know, so exactly. I won't go too much into that, but we will go to these phone lines. Area code 281, you're on the line.
Hey, greetings, Brother Alim.
Greetings, God.
Greetings, Pete.
Hey, this is Drake calling from Houston, Texas. I ask you a question, man, about, I'd say, more than like maybe 8 years ago. I had a reading. My brother, he's a East Europe priest, and right off the back, he said, you got something going on with your throat. You need to figure out what you're gonna do about that. And he didn't give me no other information. I still got this cough, man. Been having it, that long. It's no fever, nothing like that. You know, I've been tested for tuberculosis. It ain't that. You know, it's just a nagging cough. Has that got anything to do with the throat chakra? Can you give me some clarification on that?
That's exactly what it is, brother. It's your throat chakra. So remember, we made mention of the fact of some affirmations for the various chakras. For the throat chakra, it says, I easily and gracefully express my deepest feelings and emotions. Right now, you feel as if your expression is being stifled. Your expression is being stifled. So you feel as if you can't say what really is on your mind, or people won't appreciate you for saying what is factual, what is real, or what is true. So therefore, it's in a sense you keeping it bottled up. So that's really what you're dealing with. You know what I'm saying? So you would say, I easily and gracefully express my deepest feelings and emotions. You can also burn a blue candle and read Psalms 1 and Psalms 2. Read Psalms 1 and Psalms 2. Psalms 1 and Psalms 2 eliminates negativity. Understand, when we talk about the Bible, we talk about spells, ghost spells, all right, gospels, all right, and when we talk about Psalms, we talk about actually Akhenaten or Ankh-Anten's hymns, because that's where the Psalms come from, is from Akhenaten, all right, or Ankh-Anten, all right, as he was actually called, known as Amenhotep IV of the 18th dynasty. So he actually wrote the Proverbs and the Solomon hymns and the Solomon songs, the songs of Solomon, as they call them, in Proverbs, and as I said, in Psalms. He wrote these along with his father, Amenhotep III. You know.
That's Psalms 1 and 2.
Right, that's Psalms 1 and 2. It removes negativity, brother.
Okay, I'm definitely gonna do that, bro. Appreciate you.
No, you're welcome. All right. Remember now, y'all want to call in? That's 626-414-3535. That's 626-414-3535. All right. Give us a call in. You get 15 more minutes. 626-414-3535. That's 626-414-3535. Give us a call. All right, Brother L, you got any closing remarks here? We got 15 minutes.
Yes.
We'll try to sum it up the best we can before we get out of here.
All right. What about us taking the herbs? Would it be all right, like the burdock and the alfalfa, the chickweed, and say like I want to take some saw palmetto and stuff like that? Would it be all right to take it all together, or would it be better to take it separately?
Well, you can take the blood cleansing herbs at night, 3 hours before you go to sleep, so that it can work in your system. So by the morning time after you wake up, normally within 45 minutes, you have to go to the bathroom and defecate. So that way, it can get the poisons out your system, as it works through. During the daytime, you can take your saw palmetto and so forth and so on, But these here can probably be taken better at night in order to help the system over the nighttime, in order to heal your body.
Okay, so you're referring to the burdock, the alfalfa, and chickweed.
Right, alfalfa, burdock, chickweed. Mm-hmm.
All right.
All those were blood cleansers. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
The herbs that I talked about tonight was the blood cleanser herbs. Those are the ones that helps cleanse the blood. Mm-hmm.
All right. Okay, the saw palmetto and the like the golden seal, you can take during the day, or you can take that at night. Golden seal at night also.
Golden seal can be done at night also, brother.
Okay. I got you. Yes. Yes. I know we did good tonight. We got quite a few callers in tonight, so I know we're doing a good job. And there's no doubt about it. All I say is we just keep getting out here and putting the word out here. And hey, we're gonna achieve some of the things we're trying to do here, trying to enlighten the people and waken the people up, so they can be what they're supposed to be. Taking their place among men. Yeah.
Not about it. That's the whole point. Uplift the fallen humanity. And we're supposed to be the revealers of light. Someone told us today that we're causing confusion. And I'm like, and confusion how? Because we're teaching the truth, the way in which that we perceive it, or that the way that we see it from our research and study.
Uh-huh. Right.
Because we're not parenting. We're not parenting, what an idiot says.
Exactly. There has been their mind control to the extent that what we are talking about is off the wall. So yes, that don't make sense, and like he said, confusing like how? Confusing to him, maybe.
Exactly, because we talking about 7 different levels of consciousness. If I'm doing 1 breath a minute, I'm at infinite consciousness. That means a fool who's at interpersonal consciousness, which is 18 breaths a minute, can't understand nothing I'm talking about at 1 breath a minute.
No, he cannot.
Or in intrapersonal consciousness, which is at 9 breaths a minute. Or at life consciousness, which is 7.5 breaths a minute. Or at subconsciousness, which is 6 breaths a minute. Or at superconsciousness, which is 4.5 breaths a minute. Or at magnetic consciousness, which is 3 breaths a minute. Only person who can understand what I'm talking about, because if I practice breathing 1 breath a minute, which is breathing for 30 seconds in and 30 seconds out, is someone who's doing the exact same breath. In other words, it's your breath in which that gives you the particular conscious level in which that you're seeking. It's through your breath, your holy breath. So a Negro talking about he's conscious, but yet he's still doing the same stupid shit that he was doing 10, 15, 20 years before. He's not conscious.
No, he's not.
Because his breath has not regulated his behavior. Right, his breath has not, he has not correlated his breath to the cycles of time, or what is called the clock of destiny. He has not used the breath to correct his patterns, his behaviors, his methods, his thoughts, his ways, his actions. He still have ways of actions of a drafted snake, as we would say, coming from the lessons. You know, that's the reason why it says why must Muhammad or any Muslim murder the devil? And what is the duty of bringing 4 devils at a time in the justice lesson? Because those 4 devils symbolizes your lust, greed, jealousy, and envy. If you have not mastered those 4 components of yourself, then actually you are detrimental to yourself. You are actually a devil.
Exactly.
And that's black, brown, red, yellow, or white.
Yes, the detrimental to the people around him and to himself.
Right, because you're working off your lower self, off your lower nature, your lower mind. And you haven't learned how to master it yet. But yet you're claiming that you're conscious. So then you're going to say that there's confusion because you can't understand the higher thoughts aspects because you're not in your higher self. You're in your lower self. You have, and your behavior demonstrates your lower patterns, your lower behaviors, your lower actions. And then when someone comes with higher ways and who's actually here to uplift on humanity, you know, and not bullshit you and not just take your money, but giving you something of substance in return that can actually help you in daily life, and don't have you up in a damn synagogue or church spitting on your ass and hacking and coughing on you, or got you up in the damn school system talking about you come from a fucking ape or a monkey. And you paying $6,000 to $20,000 to hear that dumb shit, but yet I'm causing confusion, and I'm telling you that Allah is in man.
What's so complex about that?
You're a fucking jackass, right? These are fucking jackasses.
They heard me earlier said that, hey, I don't take none of the medicines that the doctors prescribed for me to take, but I took only the herbal that you have prescribed for me. And I came back to the doctors and got a good report. Now, what's so complex about that? What's hard to understand about that?
The fact of, like you said, right. Well, like you said, you wanted me to talk about hydrogen peroxide. Well, the hydrogen peroxide kills parasites, worms, bacteria, and viruses. Hydrogen peroxide puts more oxygen back into your cellular structure. So now your cells can breathe, and so your blood comes out lighter. So therefore, it's not dark maroon or dark looking. It's light, bright red. And they wonder what happened to all the microbes. They wonder what happened to the bacteria, the viruses, the parasites, the worms. What happened? How your body was able to rid yourself of this. Damn, we dropping chemtrails on your ass. You shouldn't be in good health. Damn, we're giving you high fructose corn syrup. We are genetically modifying your food. How old are you, Brother L?
I'm 60.
All right, so you're 60 years old.
60 years old.
You know damn well by 60 you're supposed to have some high blood pressure and some diabetes somewhere up in your stuff.
Yeah, but I didn't have them.
That's the way that they trying to make. That's the way that they trying to make you have it, right?
I had it, but until I started taking the herbal remedies.
Until you started. Say that one more time.
Hydrogen peroxide, Logan seal, the saw palmetto, the horny goat weed, a lot of that stuff. They had my prostate was up, but then it went down. because I was taking the saw palmetto and the honey gold weed. That was down.
Right.
So,
right.
Well, they said, well, we don't need to call you back to do a biopsy on you. Well, it went back down, so, but I didn't take none of that was prescribed. None of that about blood pressure, cholesterol, diabetes, none of that I took. That medicine they prescribed for me.
So Brother L, you're a living testimony. So you're a living testimony to the herbalism, then to our herbal healing, or what is called Healing Wings Ministry or Healing Wings products.
Exactly. No doubt about it.
Well, that's excellent. Right. And for those who want to know more about Healing Wing products, herbs and health, once again, you go to www.dralimel-bey.com. That's www.dralimel-bey.com. You can go there and also get your remedy. You know what I'm saying? Because we're not joking. We're not playing. No. These are organic. These are wild crafted herbs in which that you get. You can heal yourself from any ailment, any disease, any sickness. This is nothing spooky about this. Only reason why it seems spooky because of your non-understanding, your non-comprehension, which is dealing with your different state of consciousness. But that's the reason why I teach the science of breath, so that we can all breathe at the same level. And that's conspiracy. Remember, the word conspiracy means to breathe together. Mm-hmm. So anybody who conspires means that they are breathing together because they have the same conscious state. Anyone who does not have the same conscious state, then you're not on that level. Sorry. Mm-hmm. All right. So this is for those who can get, to super magnetic and infinite consciousness. We're talking about the higher self. We're talking about the 3 higher chakras: the throat chakra, the third eye, and the crown chakra. The Aku, the Ka, and the Ba. That's where you want to be, because those 3 bodies survive death of the physical body and form that macabre or that flaming chariot on which that takes you on to the next level of consciousness. Based on your will, let your will be done. As it is in heaven, so shall it be on earth. All right, that's what all that is talking about. As above, so below, as within, so without. Mm-hmm. All right, so that's what's taking place. You get ready to head out of here, guys. First World Order Radio. Finally, we are on the air. No doubt. All right.
There's always going to be somebody in the building on First World Order Radio.
We get on into some of that order consciousness tonight.
First World Order Radio every Wednesday, 8 p.m.
We got to talk about what is taking place on the planet.
There's always going to be somebody in the building on First World Order Radio. First, we need to let you know we're going to be doing more shows, giving out more information on Wednesdays. Wednesday is 8 o'clock. We are now going to make this the hottest day of the week.
Preceding others in time, order, importance. The most prominent parts, voices, or instruments. Earthly state of human concerns in existence. An indefinite multitude, quantity, or distance. System regulates to bring about specifics in the group based on value and natural characteristics. Current radiates electromagnetistics of sound through the air, same as your thoughts transmits it. Preceding others in time, order, importance. The most prominent parts, voices, or instruments. Earthly state of human concerns in existence. An indefinite multitude, quantity, or distance. System regulates to bring about specifics in the group based on value and natural characteristics. Current radiates electromagnetistics of sound through the air, same as your thoughts transmits it.